My wife Fang Lin used work as an excuse to back out of our daughter's Mayday study tour, telling us not to go either. Seeing my daughter's disappointment, I decided to take her myself. Just as I entered the school grounds, I saw Fang Lin on the main stage, sitting on a sofa with her first love Chen Bonian and his son. They looked intimately like a family of three. Fang Lin held the microphone, eloquently speaking about achieving a happy family and a successful career, exchanging knowing smiles with Chen Bonian from time to time. The audience below applauded enthusiastically. Fang Lin's expression grew increasingly smug, and even the little boy beside her looked arrogant. Soon it was time for questions. I snatched a microphone. Excuse me. See. Oh, fine. Since when did you have a son? Does your husband know? The moment I finished speaking, the student's son parents seated below began murmuring, casting strange and disdainful glances my way. Who is this guy? So rude? I bet he's jealous of CEO Fang's husband and just wants her attention. CEO Fang runs a company worth tens of billions. It's no surprise a dreamer or two might try to latch onto her as a kept man. How shameless. On the stage, Fang Lin's expression flickered with panic when she saw me, but she hid it well. Chen Bonian beside her, however, couldn't keep his composure. Feigning anger and grievance, he asked, "Lin, what does he mean by this?" I ignored him, looking only at Fang Lin. CEO Fang, you still haven't answered my question. Fang Lin subconsciously brushed a stray hair from her forehead and in front of everyone, clasped Chen Bonian's hand tightly. This is my answer. Chen Bonian looked moved and deep in their embrace. Without hesitation, the crowd below gasped. Wow, what true love! Thank you, their happiness and conflict. CEO Fang is truly an ideal woman. Not only a powerful career woman but also so devoted to her husband and child. Simply amazing. They looked at me with even greater contempt. Serves him right for trying to stir up trouble between them. Got put in his place. Look at him, a total kept man, erring to compare himself to CEO Fang's husband. Everyone knows her husband holds a key position at Mingjia Group. CEO Fang's right-hand man. How could a loser like this possibly compare? Just then, my phone vibrated. It was a message from Fang Lin. Shunyun, don't misunderstand. I promised Bomi and I'd play mother to Chen Dong for a day. He lost his mother young, the poor thing, but you, instead of listening to me, embarrass me publicly like this. Stop making trouble. A cold sneer escaped my lips. Fang Lin had always been strong-willed, which was why after marrying her, I had fully supported her career. I arranged for her to become general manager, stabilizing things for her behind the scenes. But now it seems she'd forgotten who held the real power. Mingjia Group was founded by my grandfather, and I hold 75% of the shares. I quickly typed messages to Mingjia Group's HR and legal departments on my phone. Today, right here in front of everyone, I was going to strip her of her general manager title. My daughter Shane Xiao couldn't stand hearing me insulted and angrily retorted. What nonsense are you talking? Fang Lin on stage is my mom. My dad is her real husband. That man is the homewrecker. The others instantly burst into laughter, their tone increasingly mocking. Like father, like daughter. So young and already trying to latch on to someone powerful. Such crooked intentions. CEO Fang is showing affection publicly. How could their family of three be fake? Whoa. Chen Dong, having come down from the stage, rushed over, fiercely glaring at Sheng Xiao. Who are you calling a homewrecker? You and your dad are crazy, desperate to usurp power place. Aren't you? Have you no shame? He raised his hand to strike her, but I decisively intercepted him. My gaze fell on Fang Lin standing a few steps away. Fang Lin, I'm giving you one last chance, or NT you going to explain? Fang Lin frowned at me, and after a moment said coldly, Sir, I don't know you. I have self-restraint. But that doesn't mean I will tolerate you repeatedly slandering my husband and son. Our group's legal team is not to be trifled with. Shang Xiaoxiao, puffed up with anger and disbelief, cried out. Mom, what are you saying? You don't even recognize Dad and me anymore. Please say something for Dad and me. Didn't you hear how horribly they're insulting Dad? His surrounding crowd erupted in laughter. Little girls still addicted to acting? Before CEO Feng decides to crush you completely, you better drag your dad away. The power of Mingjia Group isn't something little people like you can mess with. Even Shang Xiaoxiao's own classmates started looking at her with disgust. Shang Xiaoxiao, you're so disgusting. You usually seem so polite and well-read. Who knew you were so rotten inside? Shang Xiaoxiao grabbed Feng Lin's sleeve. Please, Mom, what's wrong with you? Why do you say you don't know us? Please say something for Dad and me. Didn't you hear how horribly they're insulting Dad? Feng Lin ruthlessly flung her daughter's hand away. The girl stumbled back to steps. Her face etched with hurt. At the same time, Shen Boni and intertwined his fingers with Feng Lin's, looking at me with undisguised provocation. In that instant, I understood Chen Boni and knew everything. I immediately reached out and pulled my daughter close. Xiao, since she refuses to acknowledge you, from now on you don't have to acknowledge her either. As I finished speaking, Feng Lin's brow twitched almost imperceptibly. Moments later, my phone vibrated again. Shen Yun. I already explained, and just being a mother to little Dong for one day, how can you have absolutely no empathy? If I acknowledge your identity, how are Bonnie Ann and little Dong supposed to face everyone? How did little Dong even go to school anymore? If you hadn't insisted on making this endless scene, none of this would have happened. You deserve the insults now. Take your daughter home and reflect on your actions. I couldn't help but sneer again. It seems sitting in the general manager's chair for too long had made her forget who granted her that power. At this point, the teacher organizing the study tour hurried over to mediate, announcing that the fun run activity was about to begin. As we walked towards the sports field, Chen Bonian brushed past me, a triumphant smirk on his face. A kept man like you only deserves to be dumped. Only a career-driven man like me is worthy of a successful entrepreneur like Feng Lin. If you know what's good for you, take your little burden and get lost. I scoffed. A career-driven man. Just moments ago, HR had sent me a message. Chen Boni An had only been promoted because Feng Lin pulled strings for him. He didn't even understand the most basic aspects of the business. Apparently, Chen Boni An only knew I was Feng Lin's husband, oblivious to the fact that I am the true helmsman of Mingjia. If the company's HR and legal department informed me, I had drafted the dismissal letter and divorce agreement in Word arriving over now. I remained here, refusing to leave, precisely because I wanted to ruthlessly tear apart Feng Lin and Chen Boni An's hypocritical masks in front of everyone, to seek justice for my daughter and myself. Feng Lin and Chen Boni An had been invited to the VIP viewing stand, where school leaders and parents alike were eagerly flattering and fawning over them. Feng Lin held her chin high, wearing an air of superiority, smugness radiating from the corners of her eyes. Meanwhile, Shang Xiaoxiao was already on the running track. She managed a faint smile at me, and I waved to cheer her on. In an instant, disaster struck. Chen Dong suddenly dashed onto Shang Xiao's track, stuck out his leg, and sent Shang Xiao caught completely off guard, tumbling violently forward. I rushed over immediately. My daughter's face was contorted in agony. Large beads of cold sweat dotted her forehead from the pain, and both her knees were bloody and mangled. My heart clenched. Yet the culprit wore a look of triumph. Chen Dong laughed gloatingly. Serves you wretched father and daughter right. Let's see if you dare cross us again. Furious, I wanted to land two punches on him right then and there. But Feng Lin blocked me, shielding the father and son protectively. Enough. It's just children playing around. Are you an adult? Really gonna make a fuss over it? My chest heaved with anger. Playing around? Open your damn eyes and see how much pain she's in. This was clearly intentional assault. Chen Bonian chuckled lazily, pulled a wad of cash from his wallet, and scattered it over Shang Xiao though his gaze was fixed on me. You two into all this trouble just for money, didn't you? Here's compensation for the injury. Take it and get lost. The surrounding parents had already burst into laughter, looking at my daughter and me with contempt while fawning over Fang Lin and Chen Bonian. See, this is what happens when you offend the rich and powerful. You just have to swallow your grievances with NT at this father and daughter who provoked Director Fang's family first. They brought this on themselves even if her leg were broken. They deserve it since Director Fang's husband already threw money at you. Why don't you just scram? Shang Xiao was being treated by the school nurse. She looked pleadingly at Feng Lin for help, but Feng Lin turned her head away. Her gaze gradually dimmed. She grasped my hand. Dad, you were right starting today. I don't have a mother anymore. Hearing Shang Xiao's words, Feng Lin frowned almost imperceptibly, then shot me a reprochful look. My gaze flickered past her, moving towards those sycophants who cursed my daughter and me with the most vicious words, those who stepped on the lowly to curry favor with the powerful. I looked at them one by one, naming them individually. The Zhang family in the aluminum alloy business, the Liu family in the cement business, the Meng family in soybean product processing, as I calmly and clearly named them one by one. His parents couldn't help but freeze, stunned, because I was correct about every single one. Mingjia Group was involved in a vast range of industries, and they all depended on Mingjia Group's favor for their livelihood. I announced forcefully, starting today, Mingjia Group will terminate all cooperation with you. They were first astonished, then burst into laughter, crowding around Fang Lin. Look everyone, this guy's been driven mad. A moment ago he claimed to be Director Fang's original husband. Now he's even more absurd, directly representing Mingjia to terminate our contracts. Huh? Who the hell do you think you are? Director Fang hasn't even spoken. What crap are you spewing? Someone get the number for a mental hospital and have this guy committed. Fang Lin's eyes grew darker. Her face turning grim, she took a step forward and whispered to me. Shang Yuan, I've already secured my position at Mingjia. Do you really think you can stir up any trouble? Do you even have any say anymore? Hurry up and get lost. Go home. I gave her a meaningful look but didn't answer her. Instead, I turned towards those mocking me and towards Chen Boni. And everyone has gotten one thing wrong. It's true that Feng Lin is the general manager of Mingjia Group, but I am the one who calls the shots. Chen Bonian was first startled, then laughed until tears streamed down his face. I'm afraid he's really lost his mind. I've worked at Mingjia Group for so long and I only know my wife is the general manager. As for this lunatic, I've never even seen him. He probably doesn't even know which way the group's main entrance faces. I just smiled without saying anything because my people were arriving soon. With Chen Bonian's position, his access was limited to the 10th floor of the group's building. How would he ever have seen me on the 35th floor? Although others were laughing along, Fang Lin alone was not. Her gaze towards me could only be described as venomous. I knew it was because she was afraid just then. My daughter's phone rang. As soon as she answered, she let out a sharp scream. Ah! As if struck by immense trauma, the voice from the speaker blared. So young yet so rotten, staging accidents with your freeloading dad. Truly shameless. I hurriedly hung up, only then realizing someone had posted today's incident online. Worse still, someone had fabricated lies, distorting the fact to slander my daughter and me, even publishing her phone number and school. My gaze swept towards Chen Bonian. He was looking at me provocatively, a smirk playing on his lips as he mouthed the words, "A gift for you. Do you like it?" My daughter began trembling all over. An overwhelming flood of abuse continued unabated online, and one cyberbullying call after another came in. Those parents eager to impress Fang Lin surrounded my daughter and me, spewing harsh insults and vicious curses. See, the eyes of the masses are sharp. You to deserve to rot in a stinking ditch. Daring to impersonate a Mingjia Group executive, just wait to be sued into bankruptcy. Mingjia's legal department is notoriously tough. You won't even have a place to cry later because you'll lose your house. Someone smirked and winked mockingly. Isn't that simple? This guy looks like a pretty boy. Maybe he can crawl into some rich old woman's bed, and he'll have a place to cry. Just then, two high-end black business vehicles roared up. Someone sharp I couldn't help shouting, "That's the Mingjia Group logo. An executive is here." Those lackeys looked as if they shared in the glory, closing in on my daughter and me step by step, their mouths opening and closing like venomous snakes, revealing their fangs. "You two are completely finished now. Director Feng is truly formidable." "Her wedding wasn't just talk. She's getting serious. You'll lose everything down to your underwear." Someone else raised their phone, their eyes glinting with a predatory light as they looked at us netizens. Here's the follow-up to the trending story about the gigolo scamming the female CEO. Quick, follow me. I'll live stream it for you. Watch the type and take down the overconfident average Joe. Chen Bonian gazed deeply at Feng Lin, his face lit with surprise. But when he turned back to me, the arrogance and triumph for unconcealed. Chen Dong beside him was even more puffed up with pride. A flicker of surprise crossed Feng Lin's face. Dark currents swirling in her eyes, her voice squeezed through clenched teeth. "You called them here? Do you really have to push things this far?" I raised an eyebrow, a chill spreading in my gaze, but before I could speak, Chen Bonian addressed the crowd, head held high with pride. "Shengluo, see that? That's Mingjia's legal team. They've never lost a case today. You and your daughter first spread rumors and caused trouble, then shamelessly impersonated company personnel. You'll be leaving here on your knees." At this, he was immensely pleased with himself. "I called them here. I couldn't help but laugh out loud. Personnel and legal had just reported this matter to me." Feng Lin looked at Chen Bonian in disbelief, but Chen Bonian merely gave her a flirtatious wink, utterly oblivious to her already taught expression. "Alain, I know you wanted to deal with him for a long time. I've set everything up for you." Feng Lin's eyes widened in shock, curses rising to her lips, just as the group emerging from the business van walked straight past me, heading directly towards her and Chen Bonian. He bowed respectfully. "President Feng, we received word from Assistant Chen and came here to handle a matter concerning damage to the company's reputation." Feng Lin, visibly relaxed, a triumphant look in her eyes as she glanced back at me. These two, deal with them properly." The sycophantic parents watching spared no effort in their mockery. "What a truly overconfident man. Didn't you say you called the shots in Mingjia Group? Go on, say something. See if these people listen to you." Look how arrogant he was just now. Served him right. Did him slap down like that. "Huh?" Lawyer Lu walked towards me, his eyes contemptuous but his tone sharp. "Sir, damaging the reputation of Mingjia Group entails compensation starting at no less than 1 million. Here's the lawyer's letter." I looked at him with a half smile and said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "From the moment you arrived here, you were fired." The group's chief legal counsel had already informed me, and I had told him not to intervene, to let Lu make his own choice. Were these little minions hoping to hitch their wagons to Feng Lin and Chen Bonian come forward? It was a perfect opportunity for me to clean house all at once. Yes, crazy. The man's completely lost it. Mingjia Group's lawyers are already here and he's stuck us playing as the chairman. What's the use of pretending to be crazy? Talk to here. Compensation starts on 1 million. Kick that, he doesn't even have 100,000. Just wait till you end up in jail. Feng Lin walked up to me, their eyes glinting with triumph and arrogance. The lawyer's letter has been issued. The lawsuit won't be far behind. Pretending to be crazy won't help you then. I don't like to bully people, but the reputation of the group and my husband cannot be tarnished as long as you admit in front of everyone on the live cameras that everything today was done with malicious intent and apologize to Bonian. I can let bygones be bygones. And she added in a voice only I could hear, "Shengluo, This is the last chance I'm giving you to back down gracefully, Dan. Be foolish. Do you see anyone in the group who still listens to you? I retorted bluntly, Fang Lin. You really are shameless. You know perfectly well what the truth is. The lackeys began to fume. President Fang is magnanimous, but this mad dog doesn't deserve it. Psst. Hey. Su Hin. Into bankruptcy. Who let this mad dog barkin by twilbly? Yes. Sue him till he's finished. Just then, a dozen stretch limousines pulled up one after another at the school gate, occupying nearly half the street. Oh my God. What is going on? Am I dreaming about this spectacle? This is the first time in my life seeing anything like this. Car doors opened in unison and figures in imposing bespoke suits stepped out. Hey! Radiating authority, the sycophants who had been beseeching me moments ago now stared wide-eyed, faces etched with shock. That Ming-ji is chief operating officer. He was just on a financial channel a couple of days ago. Ming-ji as chief legal counsel. I heard he's a Harvard top graduate who made his name internationally with a transnational lawsuit right after graduating. I've seen that person at an international forum. He's a renowned expert in talent management. Heavens, what day is it today? How can I be seeing so many titans? President Fang must have called them to back up Mr. Qin Chen Bonian. Initially dazed, began to tremble with excitement upon hearing this. An? You did all this for me? I'm so moved. I couldn't suppress the curve of my lips into a sarcastic smile with Fang Lin's qualifications. She wasn't even worthy of carrying these people's shoes. How could she possibly summon them? Fang Lin stared intently at me, her hands unconsciously clenching into fists. Chen Bonian, oblivious, excitedly pulled her hand and quickly adjusted his collar. Fang Lin quickly introduced me to them. Dragged by Chen Bonian, Fang Lin approached this group of elites, forcing her most decorous smile. What brings you all here for a visit today? The group completely ignored them, leaving Fang Lin and Chen Bonian's eager expressions frozen in awkwardness. The chief legal counsel walked straight towards me. Chairman, everything you requested is here. That single word chairman struck like a sudden clap of thunder. His surrounding parents and teachers looked utterly bewildered. Chairman? Who's the chairman? Did I hear that right? These titans, people you only see on TV, are calling this mad dog chairman? Their expressions became increasingly difficult to read. How was that possible? There must be some mistake. Chen Bonian watched as the figures usually high above him treated me with utmost respect, his face stiffening. Fang Lin's gaze was locked onto me, her temples throbbing, and Lawyer Liu, who had been brandishing the document so arrogantly before me just moments ago, now held them with trembling fingers, his voice shaking. Chief, why are you here? The chief legal counsel standing beside me gave him a sidelong glance. On Tigomi. Chief, because as of today, you're no longer part of Mingjia Group's legal team. Lawyer Liu looked close to tears. What did I do wrong? You serve a lawyer's letter on the boss himself and you ask what you did wrong. When Lawyer Liu looked at me again, his expression was one of sheer terror. In that instant, it was as if everyone finally woke from a dream. So he really is the chairman of Mingjia Group. My God, how is that possible? After reviewing the documents I just received, I scanned the room and nodded. My assistant immediately understood. The prominent media outlets he had brought quickly set up their equipment. Cameras poised, then a massive backdrop was swiftly unveiled, and blazing upon it were the words Mingjia Group press conference. At this point, some of those who had hurled insults at me were already breaking out in a cold sweat, looking to sneak away. I had the security guards quickly from a perimeter. A smirk played on my lips. Don't you enjoy a good show? This is just getting started. Stay and watch the whole thing before you leave. The small business owners I called out were utterly stunned. They exchanged glances, then gritting their teeth, dropped to their knees with a thump before me, wailing, Chairman Shane, please be magnanimous. We were blind fools who failed to recognize your stature. We rage as small businesses. Please spare us this once. My gaze swept over them, finally settling on the faces of Feng Lin and Chen Bonian. No need to rush. One at a time, raising the microphone to my lips, I addressed the cameras today. News concerning Mingjia Group has dominated the trending topics, including some unfounded rumors. As chairman of Mingjia Group, I have called this press conference specifically to set the record straight. First, it has been rumored online that I deliberately caused trouble to seduce Feng Lin. Some even calling me a homewrecker trying to climb the social ladder, but the truth is, Feng Lin had an affair with Chen Bonian, and then tried to slander me at this point. I deliberately presented our marriage certificate, mine and Feng Lin's. As the bright red certificate booklet was magnified on the screens, everyone was stunned. There really is a marriage certificate. My God, I can't believe someone would dare to brazenly bring their lover to an event and publicly display affection. No wonder Shang Yuowen confronted them in public. We jumped to conclusions and misunderstood him. It's all the fault of that shameless pair, Feng Lin and Chen Bonian. When the people present looked at Feng Lin now, the earlier admiration was gone, replaced only by deep revulsion. The media meanwhile zoomed their cameras directly onto Feng Lin and Chen Bonian for tight close-ups. Chen Bonian frantically tried to cover his face, shouting, "Stop filming, you're violating my personality rights." He wanted to hide, to flee. But my security guard wore no pushovers until this press conference was over. No one was leaving. Feng Lin, flushed with shame and anger, strode towards me. "Enough, Shang Yuowen. This is our private affair. Get these media vultures out of here. Do you hear me?" she shrieked, threatening viciously. "If you keep this nonsense up, I'll divorce you." I'll easily savor Feng Lin's impotent fury as I took the divorce agreement handed to me by the group's chief legal officer. Then I slammed it onto Feng Lin's face, stating word by deliberate word, "I'll grant your wish from this day forward. The Shang family expels you, a treacherous woman who bites the hand that feeds her." A stunned, almost frozen expression appeared on Feng Lin's face. She slowly raised a hand to grasp the divorce papers. A single glance was enough before she roared at me, "What? Leave with nothing. Impossible!" Before I could speak, the chief legal counsel beside me stated matter-of-factly, "If you have any objections, I am prepared to face you in court at any time. However, to date, no one has ever won a case against me." I nodded in approval and picked up the microphone again. "Second, today, before everyone, I am terminating Feng Lin from her position as general manager and Chen Bonian from his position as special assistant. Effective immediately. Mingjia Group will never employ either of them." Again, this press conference was being broadcast live, synchronized across all the major digital billboards on high-traffic buildings throughout the city. As I spoke, pedestrians at intersections across the city stopped in their trucks to watch a citywide live broadcast of Feng Lin getting kicked out. Chairman Shang really lives up to his title at Mingjia Group. What a power move, so satisfying to watch. Serves the scheming bitch right. She only got where she is because of her husband. Now she tries to bite the hand that fed her and got put in her place. Haha. The next moment, Feng Lin's hysterical face filled the large screens. "I've done so much for this company. I refuse to accept this. On what grounds can you fire me just like that? I am a general manager." My gaze was glacial, my tone leaving no room for argument. "I've told you before, at Mingjia Group, what I say goes. When I tell you to get out, you get out." The HR expert behind me added promptly, "During her tenure as general manager of Mingjia Group, Mrs. Feng Lin engaged in nepotism and embezzled company funds. The evidence is conclusive. Not only is the company terminating her employment, but we will also be pursuing relevant legal action. As for Mr. Chen Bonian, he is utterly incompetent, a complete amateur in business matters. His entire advancement was solely due to his relationship with Feng Lin." Gasps rippled through the crowd, punctuated by clicks of disapproval. So the so-called general manager only got the job because she married into a wealthy family, and the so-called special assistant climbed the ladder by being a homewrecker. And they had the nerve to publicly claim they were successful career elites? Look at what this despicable pair has done. Do they act like people with any sense of shame? These words struck Feng Lin and Chen Bonian like successive slaps to the face. Feng Lin's eyes were bloodshot with fury. Chen Bonian's face was deathly pale. He grabbed Feng Lin's arm impatiently. Lin, Pink, what are we going to do? We've lost our face. How can Chen Dong and I show our faces in public after this? Feng Lin responded with a merciless slap across his face. Losing control completely in front of everyone, she shrieked, "If you hadn't whined every day about how your child never felt a mother's love, begging me to be a mother to Chen Dong just for one day, would any of this have happened? And you have the gall to ask me what to do?" Feng Lin rained curses and blows down on Chen Bonian, punching and kicking him furiously. Chen Bonian cried out in pain. Chen Dong rushed forward, trying to shield him. "Don't hit my dad." The situation reversed, with Feng Lin now being beaten by Chen Bonian and his son. She ended up black and blue with a broken arm. Hi! No one intervened. Everyone watched with the detached interest of spectators at a drama talk about dogs biting dogs, and Feng Lin pretending to be a mother as if the kid even acknowledges her. Care if they beat each other to death. They're all scum, unworthy of living. I watched coldly as they brutally attacked each other, and raised the microphone once more. This isn't over yet. Now for the third matter. I intend to hold accountable everyone who spread rumors and engaged in online harassment against my daughter and me today. My legal team has already gathered all the necessary evidence. The primary culprit behind this is none other than Chen Bonian from the doctored videos that were uploaded to the comments during the narrative. He is inextricably linked to all of it. The legal team played the collected evidence item by item. The proof was irrefutable. This man is just too vicious. One scheme linked to another, clearly trying to wipe them out completely. Too bad he messed with the wrong person. He has finished this time. Everyone knows how formidable Meng Jia's legal dream team is. Especially with such solid evidence, he'll probably lose everything. My God, this is satisfying. A real-life example of evil getting its just desserts. Serves him right. Chen Bonian finally knew true fear, his body instinctively trembling like a leaf. He seemed to realize he was facing ruinous compensation, scrambling and stumbling towards me, pleading pitifully. I was wrong. Shan Yuowen, please forgive me. I'll apologize. I'll make amends. I looked down at him contemptuously, then kicked him away with all my might. Get lost. Don't dirty my shoes. Raising my eyes again, my gaze landed sharp as steel on those sycophants who had flattered the powerful and trampled the weak, viciously cursing and insulting my daughter and me. Now it's your turn today. Anyone who slandered my daughter and me, every single one of them would not escape. The moment I finished speaking, these lackeys fell to their knees at my feet. Utterly terrified, they looked panic-stricken. Tam and Sheng, you are magnanimous. Please spare us. Give us a way out. Having said that, they began kowtowing forcefully, their heads thudding against the floor. But in my eyes, this was merely submission, born of the fact that I held more power than they did. A surrender based on self-interest. I signaled my assistant, who immediately followed my instructions and played the copied school surveillance footage. This video quickly spread across the entire internet. In the footage, they were shown with gaping mouths, their vile expressions clear, seemingly deaf and blind to Shang Xiaosha's explanations of distress, focused only on fawning over Feng Lin and Chen Bonian. The world's most venomous curses, the most despicable sexual slander poured from their mouths. They used words as weapons, relentlessly attacking my daughter and me. In my view, they were utterly undeserving of forgiveness. I picked up a thick stack of contract termination documents and flung them unceremoniously onto them. My voice was like ice, like jade. Do you remember what I said? From this day forward, Meng Jia Group will never cooperate with any of you again. They looked up at me, lips trembling, eyes filled with shattered despair. Losing cooperation with Meng Jia Group in the city meant corporate bankruptcy and industry-wide blacklisting. When they tried to approach me again to beg, security guards had already dragged them away without mercy at this very moment. The top 3 trending topics online were starkly displayed. Mingjia Group Chairman Shang Yuoan kicks out comeback husband. Fang Lin fired Liv's Mingjia Group General Manager. Chen Bonian leads cyberbullying and has it backfire spectacularly. So the press conference was declared over. The matter was far from finished. Mingjia Group's legal team would file lawsuits against Fang Lin, Chen Bonian, and the other online attackers. The judgment of the law awaited them. A few days later, Fang Lin intercepted my car with my daughter inside. One of her arms was in a cast, half her hair had turned white, and she was so thin she was almost unrecognizable. Husband, I was wrong. I've completely broken things off with Chen Boni, and give me one more chance, please. Let's remarry, okay? I recoiled from her grasp in disgust. Get lost. She then sidled up to Shang Xiao, putting on a pitiful act. Xiao, look at the state your mother is in. Don't you feel sorry? Help me talk to your father. We're a family. Shang Xiao looked at her coldly. From that day on, I no longer have a mother. You should go. Fang Lin froze in that instant. Her face seemed to shatter like porcelain, etched with the panicked helplessness of losing her last straw. I called security from now on. If you see this person near the villa, beat her up every time you see her. Fang Lin was thrown out wretchedly, like a stray dog. Soon, the court convened. Fang Lin was sentenced to several years for crimes related to her position. Chen Bonian was held accountable and fined for spreading rumors and cyberbullying. Gossip travels fast. Even reaching the prison, Fang Lin's actions were despised there too. She was secretly tormented and fell gravely ill shortly after arriving. I heard she's barely human anymore. All of Chen Bonian's assets were frozen, yet it still wasn't enough to cover the compensation. He became a blacklisted debtor. His son had no choice but to withdraw from the elite private school after transferring to a regular school. Due to the widely publicized news incident, Chen Dong was constantly targeted by rumors and gossip. Gradually, his mind became increasingly twisted, and he blamed everything on his father. He roared hysterically, "If it weren't for you, how would I have ended up like this? It's all your fault, driven by your vanity. It's all your fault. Son, I did it all for you. I always thought Fang Lin was a real entrepreneur, so I used our past relationship as high school sweethearts to seduce her. If we, father and son, could climb up, it would mean astronomical wealth. Who knew? Stop using me as an excuse. Do you know what people at school call me? They say I'm the son of a mistress, a stinking loach from the gutter. Everyone looks at me with strange, contemptuous eyes. When I try to talk to them, they avoid me like I'm garbage." Chen Dong's eyes were bloodshot, his expression contorted, looking at his father as if he were an enemy. "That's all your fault. If you hadn't been the other man, I wouldn't be like this." Chen Bonian listened to his son's tearful, blood-curdling accusations, tears streaming down his face. The next second, a cold glint of metal reflected deep in his pupils. "It's all your fault, all your fault." Warm blood trickled down the knife handle. Utterly despairing, Chen Bonian's last word was "Dong Dong." While I heard about this tragic news story, my daughter and I were vacationing in the sunny Maldives. I had already promised my daughter that I would never get married again in this lifetime. I would carry on the glory of my forefathers, further expanding the company, and then pass it into her hands.